When we look at the people who achieve goals and get results in their life, we're always jealous about their ability to discipline themselves. We always wonder what drives them or what motivates them to constantly do these hard and boring things. What makes them so powerful in terms of self-control? However, the fact is that these people are just regular human beings like you and me. They're also attracted by social media and junk foods. They're not as strong as you think. But what makes them so different is they know how to gradually build a long-term life system, which slowly leads them to the positive side. In this video, I will explain exactly how you can do that as well, and I will explain why you cannot rely on your motivation to achieve this. Because discipline is an investment, not a part-time job. It's a long-term wealth generation instead of an instant paycheck. You have a vision. You might want to achieve all kinds of things in life, losing fat, making money, starting a business, or reading a book, because it is tempting for you to imagine what will happen after you achieve these goals, right? Relationship, wealth, and so on. So you are constantly obsessed with the result that will never happen. You see, this is exactly why most people are short-sighted and not committed, because they are kidnapped by their dopamines in their brain. It is like a carrot on a stick that makes the donkey move forward. People sometimes move blindly like an animal because they know only what is in front of their face. And this is reasonable because we all have insecurities about our finance, relationship, health, so we're more likely to make the decisions based on a shorter rewarding period. We like to see the result as fast as possible, but building discipline is not simply pushing yourself to go to treadmill for a week and then post them on social media. That is exactly like you're working for a part-time job and get a paycheck. But you want to have the investment mindset, which means that in a very long period of time, you won't see any results. However, everything changes from here. That is why we must rely on logical thinking instead of motivation. If you see that donkey with a carrot in front of his face, the donkey is also very motivated, but he is not getting any results. Why? Because the motivation is a byproduct of our brain's dopamine. It is related to instant gratifications, and our brain is simply not capable of understanding all of the hard work that we do without any short-term reward. It is like telling a person in the Stone Age to invest in the stock market. He will be confused because he hasn't been trained that way. So what happens next is that our brain will give up chasing that goal if the reward is no longer exists. In our life, we're just like the donkeys, but we won't see any carrot in front of our face. Now, here comes the real question. How can we still move forward without a carrot? The answer is that you need to build a system of your life based on your logical thinking and self-awareness instead of your brain. Your brain is a powerful tool for you to survive, but it can also easily be manipulated by the other people, such as junk foods, video games, pornographies. Companies like that know exactly what is favored by your brain, and they took advantage of that. These bad habits generate a shitload of motivation, way more than the actual healthy habits. Now, if you don't have this awareness that you are not your brain, you will sink into this mud hole of entertainment to death, and you are more likely to misunderstand the term motivation to a positive meaning. Motivation itself is a neutral emotion generated by your brain to seek reward, so that is why it is not reliable. That is also exactly why we must build a solid functional system in our life to achieve the long-term goals. And now you might feel a little confused because you would think, if we give up relying on motivation, then what else can even make us to take that first step? How can we run our life without motivations? This is the part where we need to go deep. Now, I want you to tell me the difference between you and a bird. Or I want you to tell me the difference between you and a fish. The bird or the fish will execute all of its actions unconsciously based on its survival mechanism. But you are able to realize everything you do and feel yourself as you're doing it. You see what I mean? You have that one extra layer of awareness compared to an animal. Now, chasing instant gratification is an animal dimension of actions, right? If you feed junk food to a fish, it will keep eating until it dies. But we wouldn't do that because we have the awareness in ourselves. And the moment where you realize that you shouldn't do a certain activity is exactly where this higher dimension of existence inside of you wakes up. This is your true self, and you can only feel it, but you cannot think about it. So you must start from there to sparkle your first move. It's way beyond your motivation, it is your meaning of life, and that first step that you take will open the door of your self-discipline. Now, realizing this existence of true self is not enough, because our brain's survival mechanism will constantly try to replace you and take back your body. There's gonna be moments where you cannot resist the temptation, the craving for junk food, and so on. And that is completely normal, just like investing in the stock market, it goes ups and down. Total awareness, total self-awareness can only be achieved by Buddha. And we are just humans. So what's more important is that we need to constantly have the awareness of leaning towards the existence of our true self instead of our brain. Especially all of actions related to self-improve, it needs to come from your realization instead of your thinking. It should be I realized I need to go for a run, not I think I need to go for a run. You see the difference there? That is why this system based on your self-awareness is far more powerful than your motivations, and this is the path that leads you to the long-term success.